that was, you said 8 years ago, right?
Right.
So now you have built this up to where at that time you start to see your worth, but now you're in a position where not only do you see the your worth, but you see the worth of it as a viable business solution
Right.
to a problem that many parents, many households have. What led you on that journey, and how did you now get to the point to where you start to really establish this thing as a business entity?
Right. So I think for me, so what started that was when I had to transition from that family, the children had started kindergarten. So I transitioned because I still needed full time. I transitioned to newborn twins. They were fresh out, 2 days home from the hospital. I started with them. I was with them for until they were two. I did triplets at one point, triplet toddlers. So I had all these different levels of care under my belt. And every time I was leaving families to go on to the new thing that God had for me, I realized I was leaving the family with a lack. And so I
Mm.
remember when I was leaving the newborn twins, the mom was like, listen, I know that you need better pay. I'm so sorry we can't afford like to give you what you need. But if I'm gonna be honest, I need a you that's not physically you. Like I need honesty. Like if we could copy and paste you, that's what we need.
All
And
right.
I'm like I thinking all like I'm trying to think, okay, who do I know that's a great nanny and all of this stuff. And I feel like that was the seed that God planted to where he was like, you know, they want you. So figure out a way to give them you.
Mm.
And that's when I started like my business, which is my nanny agency, where I not just have nannies under me, but I train nannies to literally be me when I'm not there. So that I
Mm.
pray like my goal in my business is that the nannies that I take care of. So the main part of my business that really sets me apart from other agencies is that because of the God in me, um, not me again, because of the God in me, there were just lacks that I started realizing there were in families because most nannies and babysitters, they focus on the care of the child, the
Mhm.
mostly the physical and the sometimes emotional
Right.
well-beings of the child.
Right.
But I realized that for my business, and for me, when I am a nanny, I focus on the emotional, I focus on the physical, I focus on the spiritual and the mental aspects of
Mm.
taking care of the child. And
Well-rounded.
that is
Mhm.
an avenue that really wasn't touched, that you're not just taking care of the child, but you're emotionally there for the child's needs, that you're mentally there for the child's needs, that spiritually, that when the family's going through something, I have had families ask me for prayer and they knew that they could. And
Mm.
so that was where I was like, okay, that separates me because there's not anybody doing that. And
Mm.
so that's where I began to train people to not just take care of children, but to be there for families. And because of I'm in school to be a marriage, family, and child therapist. And so I literally God is using all that is transpiring today to literally prepare me, but at the
Amen.
midst of me being using this period to be prepared for the future, he's also using what I'm learning in school for the future to work right now for families. And so the therapy, the counseling, the ability to be there for families that I'm learning in school while being able to separate yourself and have boundaries, I'm able to instill that into my business and train the women that care for children under me to do the same thing.
Mm. Amen. That's awesome. And what's the name of your business?
It's called ABC Nanny Agency.
ABC Nanny Agency. So
Yeah.
where'd you get the name? It's like the ABCs of nannies.
Right. That's so I always, especially because I work with kids, I think the natural assumption is like, oh, ABC is like blocks and letters and stuff.
Okay,
And
yeah.
that actually is part of it. But another part of it is that my sister's name is Bianca and our last name's Cadet. And so what we wanted to do
Mm,
at what point, and hopefully like our plan is that we wanted our that business to be almost our franchise. So it would be Annecy Bianca Cadet agencies. And so
mm.
it's the ABC, but also the ABC in childcare. And so it's kind of like a combination of the two.
Wow, that's nice. That's coming, right? The ABC agency, you
I
guys,
think so.
the franchise is coming. You guys want to get connected with Annie early, okay?
I'm
You know what I'm
telling
saying?
you.
You want to get connected early. Don't come in late, okay? You come in late, you're gonna get the late price. You come in
I'm
early,
telling
get the
you.
early price. So no, that's so awesome. So how many nannies do you have? How many nannies have you trained up to this point, and also how many nannies do you have that are now working under that ABC moniker?
Okay. So for training, I have done, I want to say about almost 30. I think the number right now is 27 people that I've trained um, that have just done classes with me and that's its own separate fee. The nannies that I have under me right now, I have 3 nannies specifically under me that work for me in my agency. So yeah, like it at one point it was combined, but I ended up like just separating it, and training is different than actually working for my business. So at the moment, praise God, I'll take what I get. I
No,
have
for sure.
three people who work under me.
No, that's awesome. You know what I mean? And it's awesome that you have that opportunity to train. And with that training, I know you talk about going through all the different needs, the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional needs of really being able to be a nanny and kind of add this specific level of expertise that you find out like, hey, this is my specific thing that gives me a difference, right, in the market
Mhm.
than other people are bringing. Also, as a part of that training, are you helping them to go about of how to acquire their own clientele as well? Because that's something that also is just popping in my mind. I'm just like, okay, how do I find clients, right? If I want to be in this world and in this space, what is that process? Is that something that you also assist them in doing when you as a part of the training?
Right, I do actually. If that's what at the time they're desiring. So a lot of the people who came to me, they've come just to sharpen their skills and try to figure out
Mm,
different avenues of meeting needs for families, but they already have a family. But then there are others that they come because clients as well. So I have families that come to me because they need nannies, and then I have nannies who need to find families. And so I just try to combine the two. Sometimes the hours don't always work because it really depends on the family. Sometimes they're looking for very specific hours, but then I just try to figure out a way to best provide to best link families